This week's video is going to be a little bit different, only because, so you heard us talk at the finale of season 2, and pretty much throughout the building of this, channel, how myself and Ruth and Ryan, we all have our creative outlets and things, and I've been getting back into a lot of mine. One of the things that we've talked about a lot is how, how Ruth wants to be getting back into her YouTube channel, in addition to the different events that she does, the face art and all of that. You've seen her help me with some craft things, and so one of the things that she wants to do for her YouTube channel, because her business is just plain crazy face art and more, and so for the and more, she wants to do some boredom buster craft, crazy craft things. And between the two of us, one of the things that we know in particular is that you don't necessarily dive into something without having something of a plan for a little bit. You know, people always say to me, like, oh, I want to do a podcast, or I want to do this. And I always say to them, give me 5 to 10 episode ideas, because if you can't come up with those before you even start, why are you even starting the thing? Now, if you eventually get to the point where you're like, okay, I've exhausted those, now I need to keep coming up with them, that's a legitimate, complaint, because creating content every week, every whatever, is, a little daunting, and it can get to, some things where whatever, but that's, beside the point. I say all of that to say I was not feeling well. You may have just heard the cough there. I'm recovering over a little bit of a lost voice and some things. So with the fact that I couldn't really talk, and the fact that Ruth needed to have a sort of plan, we decided to make a pilot episode of sorts for her thing. Now, this may never actually go out, so this may be the only thing that you're ever going to see from it, but I wanted to show sort of how she was thinking. We're going to cut some stuff together. Again, you may never end up seeing it. That's what like a test sort of thing is, but I wanted to show a little bit of the behind the scenes and how I sort of was the co-creative director for this particular test that she was doing. So you'll see where, we're using her phone and whatnot as the camera. So, I'm trying to help get the shots right, and, zoom in when needed and angle things the right way and all of that sort of stuff. So I kind of took that upon myself, with her permission, obviously. But so you're going to see that again. You're going to hear me do a voiceover now. But I figured, while I didn't have too much of a voice, I wanted to flex my creative abilities, wanted to show off her creative stuff and get her sort of a test, so that when she, continues building this idea, and her channel is relaunched, it could be very like, okay, we are going into it, as opposed to like figuring it out as we go along to a certain extent. And so you're going to see the behind the scenes of sort of creating this test thing now.
Face art and more. And this is going to be part of the more. So I decided to relaunch my YouTube channel, and we're going to do some boredom buster crafts for the kids, because it's coming up on summer. Right now it's the middle of June, and kids are getting out of school, and in about 5 minutes you're gonna hear, I'm bored, there's nothing.
So with the way that we set it up with just her phone camera, with just the one, I wanted to make sure that we got some of the supplies, which is what she's going through right now, some of the supplies for this particular craft and some future ones that she was teasing. But I wanted to make sure, because obviously I think when we do this a second time, because I would love to do sort of a second test on this, and have a secondary camera set up, maybe one across the table, which is shooting directly down. And you're going to see here in just a moment where I tried to get some close-up shots of, some of the stuff that that she was doing, because the camera as it was, so here you see where I'm getting a close-up shot of the flowers that she was drawing. And, the secondary camera, which would basically be on the table, would get that. Like I said, I think, a secondary a secondary camera wouldn't be the worst thing, but again, I sort of wanted to get the behind the scenes of how this was, make sure we focused on some of the supplies, and you're even going to see here, like I wanted to make sure to show what this is what the camera would be seeing. So right about where the button is, the record button is where I would want to set up another camera on the table so that it's right across from her to get a closer shot. But yeah, so we're gonna let this go for just a moment, and I'll be back with you. So as you may have seen there, there was a momentary thing where she forgot to add in the popsicle stick, which is really funny because beforehand she was asking me, where are the popsicle sticks? Have you seen them? Have you seen them? And of course, one of the things that she mentioned up at the top that you didn't get to hear was that if you don't just have popsicle sticks or know where to buy popsicle sticks, it's always fine because you can just buy some popsicles and eat them and then use the sticks. So it really helps. And it'll also help for what this craft overall is supposed to help with. It is a fan, as you can see there. So that's what she ended up making. Now again, is this video ever going to actually go out? We don't know, but I thought doing this, especially when I didn't have my voice at 100%, was perfect. Wanted to show her how she was in frame, and then had to get a shot of me and her with the fan. Did you enjoy this different take on an episode? Let us know in the comments below. Do you like when we do these crafts? Would you like to see a full tutorial on this particular one? Let us know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.